Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? I'm recovering from a throat infection and my voice is a bit croaky. Apologies. Hoping it isn't too bad and you can still hear me okay. I'm your lovely host, Kritika Ganesan, and you can call me Kika. I'm joining today's session from the UK. Spring is just around the corner and the sun is glorious. I've been in the industry for over 18 years and I'm passionate about testing and women in tech. I'm also the co-member of Synapse QA. Wait, what is that? Have you heard about this amazing testing community called Synapse QA? We started in 2020. So this is our fourth year. Yay! Our vision is to be a launchpad for hidden talents in the community and to empower testers. Though it is a testing community, it's not only for testers. We welcome everyone who is interested in testing and want to better themselves in the craft. Time for some comms. Let me share my screen. Share screen. Okay. Hopefully, you're able to see the screen. These are some of our star events in the past 4 years. I joined Synapse as a participant of Super Reads 2021, which is a global write-a-thon. It was fab, and I've stayed with them ever since. If you have been following us, then you wouldn't have missed Super Voice, which was one of its kind, a reality show on public speaking. How cool is that? It spanned for over 4 months with multiple rounds, topics, and a great panel of judges. Some of our participants have gone on to the main conference stages and started their public speaking journey with a bang last year. Today's session is part of the RISE series, where we celebrate women leaders. We have done a similar segment in 2021 too. What better way to re emphasize this point again on Women's Day? Don't worry if you have missed out on all these fun and informative sessions, as all of this is recorded and uploaded on our YouTube channel. Our socials, please connect with us and share the love and joy of testing and community spirit. We are Synapse QA. Quality is priority. Our motto is learn, share, and grow together. Our wonderful team. You have me as the host, and we have Ram in the background helping with the webinar session. Let's say hi to Ram. Hi, Ram. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you for today's fantastic session on drumroll, please. Return to the workforce after an extended career break. I hear you ask who is giving this webinar. Can we have the amazing Kripa Nanda to join us on the stage, please?
Hi.
Hi, Kripa.
Hi, how are you?
I am good, thank you. Happy Women's Day.
Same to you. Happy Women's Day to you.
Yeah, cheers. Okay, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and why this topic.
Okay, so first of all, let me introduce. I am Krupa Nanda and I work as QA engineer. And I have like mostly my experience is based on what most my experience is testing on WordPress based project. Most of you must have heard about the WordPress community, and I am actively participating in open source contribution. And these days I work with a test team over there on top of my regular 9 to 5 job. And yeah, so this topic is close to my heart because I had a multiple instance of having a career break, but this career break was actually, I would say, a prolonged break. And returning from the workforce has its own set of challenges, own set of you like it's a kind of a mental game, I would say. Like when you are completely in a comfort zone and you suddenly coming to the entire technical world, how things looks to you. So these are some something, these are some pointers that I would like to share with the person out there who might be sailing on the same boat, and they might get benefit from my own journey. However, there will be there are more resources or things available on the internet, but this is my own personal story, which may like my agenda is to inspire one, or at least one person, and that's it. That is all about it.
Perfect. Sounds great. And I think like this is the right sort of topic to be talking about today as well. So if anyone is looking out to join the workforce again after a break, so fear not. Here come Kripa with her story and the tips and the tricks to break this code. Cool. Over to you, Kripa. Take it away.
Thank you. Mm, let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you people. Okay. Are we good to go? Okay. So here is the my topic, that is return to workforce after an extended years of career break. Now, before I start my topic, I would like to thank Synopsys QA for providing me such a big opportunity and giving me a stage where I can represent myself and share my own story. I'm really thankful to you, and thank you so much for having me here. Let me start with the introduction. So when I started my career, I was working as a lecturer back in 2010, and later I switched to the developer. But that really didn't work out well, as expected. And by the time I had a case of we shifted the country also, so I had a break of almost 2.5 years during 2013 to 15, and once we came back to India, I started my journey as a QA engineer. Now, recently I have been through the career break during the time of the pandemic, where it become very much difficult for me to balance out every single thing. And as you can see here in a photo, that my child was very small at that time, and he was not allowing me to work. And uh, during the pandemic, the situation was like, each and every single day you have the fear of losing your loved one. And uh, mentally it became overwhelming for me, and I was not able to balance out my work, my personal life, my I was not able to look after my child even. So I was completely burned out at that point of a time. And for me, it became mandatory for me to understand my priority. So I decided that I should take a break, and my family supported me with that decision to go through this, to take a break. And they really motivated me over there. And in 2020 I took a break. Now, after I like before I actually take a break, I had so much thoughts running in my mind because of situation out there where people were already losing their job. The people were put on a you know pay cut, and some people were get fired, and where I had a job and I was not able to cope up with the situation, and I was taking a break from, like, voluntary I was taking a break. But that battle was continuously juggling in my mind, and I thought to go with my priority, and I decided to take a break. Now, after I took a break, I had no clear vision what I was going to do. But as we all know that, during the pandemic, the schools and preschools, or that were not opened, so I started homeschooling journey for my child. And that is again, completely new to me. I had no clear understanding of what is homeschooling, and how child led learning is applied. But slowly I learned everything, and I cut off myself from the technical world, and I narrowed down my focus only on the homeschooling journey. And it was a blissful years, I would say, that during my homeschooling journey. And as the things settled down, I enrolled my son to the traditional school. And slowly things were getting back on track, and I were in a situation where I was able to like, I prepared myself to come back. But I had not any plan, like what should I be prepared for, what challenges are going to come. I had no clear understanding of it, and I just thought that I want to come back, and I just started doing what uh, everybody does, like without any plan. So I will be sharing my challenges, or the what I would say, every people who does this, like the challenges in terms of skill obsolescence, self doubt, confidence erosion. Now when I was on a break, my focus was only for the homeschooling journey. I didn't know where the market is, what is happening in the technical industry. As I told you before, that I like my area of working is in WordPress. So I had really no idea about which version of the WordPress is updated. So I need to make myself at that level where my skill needs to be updated. But slowly I like, at the same time I had some self doubt, or I had some question in my mind: how will I be able to cope up with the people who are already working for a long time? Because I have a gap, I had that image in my mind that I have a gap, I will not be able to do this. I have a break, I will not be able to that particular thing. So the break was continuously in my mind. And it actually downgrading my confidence. But at the same time, that thought also came in my mind, like why would someone even hire me, where they have other candidate in the market who doesn't have a break? Then why would someone hire me? So the question of employability, self doubt, this kept coming in my mind. But I, at that time, I need to take the right action to come back. So here I would like to present some strategies that helped me for successfully return. And the very first thing is research on the current market. Now what we usually do, like when we are in hurry, or when we are in rush, we want to we never do a proper research. Like we, first of all, we need to understand what is our priority. Do we want to work remotely? Do we want to go to office? What kind of company you want to work? Or like where you need to upscale yourself? We just never do that part, and we just start applying for the job. But before that, we should definitely research which companies are you targeting. You should filter out those companies where you may find your area of interest. Like recently many companies have started giving the remote work, but there are the companies who gives the remote work, but they ask you to set up some kind of software that continuously track your system. And they want to assure that you have successfully completed number of hours that you have to log, or things like that. So in remote work, the main thing is to the main thing is a trust factor. So if you want, like, it may be possible that you may land a particular opportunity, where you will get the remote work. But what if after you get selected you come to know that, hey, you have to install a software that tell us that, if you have worked, if you have completed your hours or not. So this kind of things will happen. But before that, if you have gone through the, reviews, or if you have check on Glassdoor, that will give you a little bit idea about, where to go, which kind of companies to target, and that will help you ultimately filter out your criteria. So you should definitely research on that area. Now, second thing is, do not apply on random job alerts. Now, what we usually do, like when we are looking for a job, even after a break, or maybe when we want to switch the job, we go to each and every single platform and we just subscribe over there. Now, what happens in that case? You will get notification of each and every single um, you know uh, job alerts. For an example, you are in a development field, and you have subscribed to many job alerts, but there will be a notification of specific uh, iOS developer related job, or the backend developer related job. But what you need to do is, you should not apply on every single job that is coming, because ultimately you will feel demotivated, because it may be possible that companies are not going to revert you each and every single applicant. So try to filter out and just do not subscribe on each and every single jobs alert. Second thing is, tailor your resume. Now, tailoring the resume is very much important in terms of, like when you apply for a job, companies are, giving you a job description. It has to, like, you should also add some kind of keywords within your resume that, help you to filter out your resume. Like, there can be a certain scenario where, just you keep applying the same resume with different job positions. But you should try to avoid that scenario, and keep your resume updated with what the job description is demanding for. The next thing is to work upon upskilling yourself. Now, why it is important that, during this break, or break period, you might have cut off yourself from the outside technical world. But it is really important that you analyze yourself, try to identify the loophole where you need to work upon, where which part of the skills that you need to polish. It may be possible that, you might be working on your skill, like you may be good at something and you may not be good at something. So you need to decide, instead of, keep working on our weakness, we should try to keep strengthening. So that will, give you 10x result in terms of upskilling yourself. On top of that, what you can do is, you can even join online courses, webinars, or I would say some courses you can opt for, that will give you a boost up, that will boost up your confidence when you appear for interview. Next thing is, reach out to your connection. Now, this is really very much important when you apply for a job, because there is a long queue of applicant, and they are waiting for their turn to come. But instead of, if you have, connection, like if you apply via connection, that will help you to like stand your resume in a long queue, because most companies provide the referrals. So through that referrals, you can try your hands, and it may be possible that, you don't have to wait for a long time. Next thing is joining a career relaunch program. So I haven't actually uh, tried these out, but there are certain companies, for an example, Amazon, Morgan Stanley, HP, HCL, Intel. These are the big companies who runs the career relaunch program, especially for the women who has prolonged break. And these are the paid program actually, so you will get even a stipend. The length of the program totally varies from 3 weeks to 3 or 4 months, but here you will have a really very chance to start your journey, because you have already worked before, so you just have to brush up on your skill. You just don't have to start from the zero. So these programs will help you to land a particular job, or like they it will really very much helpful for your comeback journey. Then actively participate in meetups and conference. I'm not sure like if anybody is agree with that, but meetups and conferences are a place where you get to know like-minded people. It is not mandatory that with that connections or the building the network will help you to definite, like will help you to achieve opportunity or will help you to get the job. But you can surround yourself with the like-minded people. They will uplift you, they will motivate you, or maybe at certain point you might want to change your career, or you might need some advice. One of the people from your network can help you out, because when you go to meetup or conferences or events, it's not mandatory that the people are only working as an employee. You may meet some people who are working as a they might be freelancing. They might, there are some agency partners who are coming over there. So it's not really necessary that only people who are doing 9 to 5 job will only attend the meetups. But you can create your network, and you can build the network, and that way it will help you in so many ways. The last thing is you can rejoin your previous organization if they have a company. So don't try to hesitate to reach out your previous organization, because ultimately it will be a win-win situation for both the parties. As you already have worked over there for you know years or whatever number of period, they know what is your skill set, they know what you are good at, and you also know the culture and the work environment and the projects that the company is having. So it will be a good option. And if you try to reach out, and if there is an opening, then it is best option that you can opt for. The next thing is you have to be creative. Now creative doesn't mean that you have to be artist, or you have to do something that nobody has done. But it is something on those lines, like you have to think out of the box, where you can you should be able to stand out in the big competitive environment. I would like to share this show you this video. I'm sure most of you have seen this. So here you saw that, this girl rocked out, like she doesn't need to, try to make any kind of resume, but she did marketing in a way that, people will have a line to hire her. So this is way, you can, like, these are the ways you can be more creative and try to market yourself, that, you don't need to reach out to any organization, but the companies will try to reach out you. Next thing is lessons that I learned. So the very first and important, like, these are the strategies that, some of the strategies will work for you, some of the strategies might not work for anybody, but you have to try it out by yourself. But like, with the strategies that I applied, I would like to share some lessons that I learned. So very first thing is you have to be patient. Like, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to be patient, things will take some time, and you also need to allow yourself some time to, get selected, or to get, uh, to into the process. Like, it may be possible that applying for a job is one step, and and then coming a reply from the companies or the recruiter is the second step. Now, in between those things, you have to be patient. Sometimes it may be possible that, you might have cleared all the rounds of interview, but somehow you are, waiting for the final emails to come, but you are losing the patient at that time. But just try to be, calm as much as possible, and things will eventually align with what you want to expect. The next thing is you have to prepare yourself for interview. Now, this is the very much important aspect of, this whole process or whole journey, where you never know what kind of the questions that are coming ahead, in terms of asking about your break, or, why did you take a break, and what was the reason for the career break, and so on. So please take a time and, try to analyze the things, and try to understand, like, what you want to represent. And I would say, try to be true as much as possible. First of all, so many organizations out there who really doesn't ask for the break, but there are certain organizations, certain companies will definitely ask about the reason of the break. So I suggest you try to be true as much as possible. uh, ok- we can, consider certain scenarios where, like, you don't want to reveal, like, there could be some personal reasons, but that is okay. But main agenda where, of interviewer to asking about your, I would say, the career break is something that, they want assurance that the recurrence of the break is not going to appear. So you have to, like, this is the elephant in the room, you have to first address it, and you have to make sure that, this is, like, the break is no more exist, it doesn't exist anymore. So this is the first thing that you can do to crack any interview. And next thing, that is the technical interview. For the technical interview, so for technical interview, there are the chances that, some question is asked to you and you might not know the answer. Instead of saying that, hey, since I have a break and I, doesn't really know, I really don't know what was this process and how this update has came and when it has been introduced within this update. So if you just, scream out your gap within the questions, and when you something don't know, it really won't leave the positive, your positive impression. If something is not, if you're not answerable to something, or if you're not known, if the question is not, answer is not known to you, just say that, I don't have answer right now, but I would definitely love to explore this area. Or you can say something that, this is something that I would be interested in, exploring further. So it will, showcase that you have the learning attitude, you have the positive impression, like you will leave the positive impression for the interviewer. So this is two important things that we have to keep in mind. We just don't need to bluff if something we are not able to answer, and we need to address the break properly. Just grab the opportunity if you find it and answer it. Third thing is rejections are inevitable with or without break. Now what happens that when from the career break, when you try to join a company, and if you are getting rejected, you just keep thinking that because this is only because of my break. But it is not completely true. Rejections are inevitable. Like even if you are switching the job, that thing is going to happen. You cannot answer 100% of the questions. But when you are getting rejected, there is always a chance, like instead of taking it in a negative manner, take it in a positive way. There is always a chance of improvement. So when someone sends like when the company sends you the message with saying that hey, they are not continuing further, or they have better option, then try to ask for the feedback. Because when you don't know what went wrong, you won't be able to improve further. So it is your responsibility to ask for the feedback and try to take it positively, so that you can work upon the area where it's needed to be polished. Next thing is stay connected during the break. uh, just like when you are on a break, just don't cut off yourself from connecting with your ex colleagues. It is a way to stay in touch with them via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever ways they are possible. Because when you want to return, uh, then your connections may be helpful to you. So it's really important to stay connected with your colleagues. Do not compare your journey with others. Now this is a very much important part, where when we are on a break, we tend to compare ourselves with the people who are earning really very well. Or even though when you are working, but someone is earning more than you, you compare you like you compare yourself with that particular person. But we should not do that. Everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own set of struggle, everybody has their own way of handling the situation. So it is completely okay, and nobody is perfect. And I would like to explain this with this diagram, where like this image, like viewing this image, you might have different perception. I'm just sharing my perception, where first circle shows that what it says that the success definition is only considered with the job title that you are earning and the salary that you are earning. But the real measure is the real measure should be done with more factors on it. For an example, within this circle you see the more quadrant, where the salary just have a little space in that. So it is equally important that you should be mentally healthy, you should be physically healthy. When you get some free time, like as a working mother, if you have some free time, then that is not going to be wasted, like, right? You have that time to be with your child. You can utilize that time in a different ways. So uh, salary and job title is not only the way to measure the success, but it should be measured with the different parameters too. Someone might be earning more salary, but it may be possible that the person doesn't love what he or she is doing. Whereas compared to as a working mother, you might be working part time. It's completely fine that you work part time, or whether you work as a freelancing, or whether you work full time. But it is important that if you are loving what you are doing, then that is a completely success for you. Like that is the success definition for you. And last thing is that, trust yourself. Eventually things will align. Give some time, allow yourself to settle down in this, difficult time, and gradually, it will, everything will fall in place. And if you saw the image that I shared earlier, where my son was sitting on my lap, and he used to be with me. I worked very hard within this break period, where, he is now like he is cooperating me, that, when I am working, he sits besides me, or he stands besides me, and he's doing his homework. So it's all about, matter of time. Eventually you will be there where you want to be. And comeback is always stronger than the setback. So like when you are on a break, or when certain situations are not falling in place, or the way that the way that you want it to be, that's okay. Take a deep breath, take a time, allow yourself to settle down. Because when life pulls you back, you are going to, come back with lots of energy, and you leverage that, time that you got. So there is a, saying for the lion, that when lion goes 2 step back, he's, ready to move 10 step ahead. So you just don't have to worry about anything, and just focus on what you are doing currently. So it's really okay to, have a break. It is just a break. Let the break just don't break you. It's okay, take your time, settle it down. Eventually things will fall into place, and own it. Like in your, if you are under a break, just own it. If you overcome it, be there. Like, lo- do love what you do, and things will fall in place. And focus on your mental health, your physical health. Doing a job and earning the money is not only the thing. Career gap is okay, and that is completely fine. So with that, I would like to conclude my session over here. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a fab session, Kripa.
Thank you.
I think like yeah, don't let the break you.
Correct.
I've just like noted down some items for future reference. I really like that. Don't let the break you. Comeback is
Because
always stronger than the
yeah,
setback.
yeah,
Yeah, and there are like other items which I noted down as well. Like as in, I think there's a different perspective to upskilling yourself. That is, you don't just work on the weakness. Usually, when you try to think about upskilling,
yeah,
you're not good at something, so you upskill.
yeah.
Upskill, the word
It's
itself,
good to,
you're upping it.
you should, work upon the areas that are weak, but just don't forget that you are already good at something. So try to multiply where, which already you are good at.
Yeah, so that's like a different perspective. I think that made me think, yeah, about like upskilling in a different light. That is, you have to strengthen your existing skills because
Correct.
you know what? If you are good at something, be great at it, and then you would be able to crack that aspect, or like that becomes a niche skill. Nobody else is good at it. Probably it's like. I think, like Bruce Lee said it. I'm not afraid of a person who practices 10,000 kick. I'm just afraid of a person who practices one kick 10,000 times because that is
Yeah,
lethal. So I think that one made me like, oh wow, this is a different perspective. And then video resume. I think that's totally a thing now. Like I hire people as well, so I think like video resume is going to be like very popular, and even now,
yeah.
people are using it, and it is very effective rather than a
Reading through
documented
the,
resume. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So totally with that. And then what else did I? The career relaunch programs. I am. I vouch for it. I have seen like many people do that. I worked in bigger organizations where we have put together the program, worked on how it will be useful for women, specifically women. That's like maybe a bias, but I think we
Yeah,
should
there are
show
certain
that
companies
bias.
who just do not focus on women only, but the program is generic for like it is for everybody, because it's not like only women has to go through this phase. There are certain scenario where men has to go through this phase, so certain companies do provide such programs irrespective of your gender.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. I think yes, career break is career break, irrespective of the gender. But in the past as well, like I worked in like bigger companies where I've got the opportunity to do my bit in
Mhm.
terms of like shaping the programs, creating job spec which are like part time, mainly to attract like women talent,
Mhm.
um, and people like who have taken a career break specifically for a longer period and they want to come back. So yeah, yeah. But then break is a break, as you mentioned. What else did I have? I had another one, the diagram, the pie chart about what is success for you, the parameters of success. I think that that one was like sometimes you know all of this, but then you need a little reminder saying that hey.
Correct. we
So
we literally, yeah, went into that impression, if someone is having a different level of lifestyle and we just cribbing about it, like that guy is having that kind of fun and we are just don't have these things. But we should not only measure those aspects. There could be a scenario where he or she must be going some other kind of a pain. So it's not only about those area, but you need to focus on what is in your plate.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So there were like some items which were like thought provoking, and some we were like, oh, okay, I know this, but then I needed a reminder, and Kripa has reminded me today. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cool. So let's see whether we have any questions from the audience. If there are any questions, please post it. Um, so one question is. Mm, Um, so, having known what you know now, what would you have done differently when you were on the break?
Yeah, so I was totally, cut off from the community. That should have not been done. I should have been in touch with the people with whom I was working, or at least I should have, keep using the LinkedIn and Twitter, so that I can get I may get receive the whatever updates that are happening in the market. Because when I started brushing up my skill, I had no idea like what is happening. I had not even idea like I was completely not aware of what version the WordPress is using. And even I don't remember my I had to update my system also, like make system also. I had not that kind of clue also. So this is the thing that I would love to be like if I go back and I could correct. So this is what I wanted to do. And yeah, the second thing I would like to mention that I never attended any meetups or events or conferences. I never been there, even though I was living in a city where going like excess of meetups and connecting to the like-minded people was very much easy. But I was not into that thought and I never attended. But after I resume my career again, I understand the value of it. And now I do not even hesitate to travel to a different cities to attend the meetups. I try to participate, I try to volunteer, I try to be speaker in a whatever capacity I contribute back to the community. So this is something that we should not ignore.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Kripa. And then we have one more question. I know you talked about a little bit on this in your session today, but then are there any specific strategies or advice for managing the family responsibilities while re-establishing a career?
Could you please come again?
So the question is, you're going to manage the responsibilities in your
Okay.
day-to-day life, and then you're trying to reestablish um, your career again because
Yeah.
it's like come back, yeah. So, are there any specific strategies you would you actually covered this a couple of points in your session, but then are there any other which you wanna maybe shine light on?
Yeah, so like you should not hesitate to ask for the help. I'm lucky that I have a strong support system at my home. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, like they are constantly looking after my child when I am working. So like, and consider that not every day is going to be the same day. The picture that I shared in the later part of the slide, like my son is sitting besides me and doing his things, but this is not the everyday story. There will be bad days, there will be good days. So if you have decided something that you want to do that, but you have to be prepared with something that is not going to align with that part. So that is something that I would share, that you should have strong support system. That is where your half of the battle is going to be finished. And later on, if something, for some areas, if you are not able to contribute, then you should definitely never hesitate to ask for the help.
Yeah, yeah. Support system is like really, really important, isn't it? As you say, half of the battle, or you have a very good start to win the battle if you have a very good support system in place.
Correct.
So, yes, I can vouch for that as well. We have another question from the audience where the question is, um, you have switched careers after the break. Any advice on how did you cope up with starting from scratch again? I think when you start from scratch again, there is a bit of a fear factor. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the question is, how did you cope up with starting from scratch again?
Yeah, so in my career, as I said, that I had a multiple case of career switch with multiple breaks. So I used to work as a lecturer, which was my area of interest, and later I, switched to developer. So where I, didn't go through any research, I just blindly switched my career. So that we shouldn't do that. But when I joined as a QA, when I joined the software testing community, or when I started working as a QA, I had done my enough research, because at that point of a time when I switched my career, or where I would say when I need to switch my career, I need to understand like what is my requirement. Like for an example, what if I need to relocate again? Will that affect my job again? So you need to understand your priority, you need to understand what are the circumstances that you can anticipate in your journey. Based on that, you can do a market research, and you can find something that interests you. But you should be able to fully prepared for that. And for an example, when I switched my career, I joined a crash course for testing for testing related course. I did it. I also cracked that ISTQB examination that helped me to achieve a job, because without experience in any field, it will be difficult for you to sustain. But your interest should align with what you want to do, and you can move ahead with something that you can get the help out of it. For an example, doing some crash course, or you can join a community. There are lots of community where on a different platform, I would say, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, woman intakes and woman who code. There are different communities. I just name one or two three, so you can try those things. But you should not switch blindly. For an example, right now AI is in completely boom. So just don't switch the career because AI is currently in trending. It should interest you.
Yeah, true words, true words. Don't just follow the trend. Check whether you are like really interested in the work you want to do. Okay, we have another question. I could see only referrals help the returnship possible, smooth entry into the workforce after break. Isn't easy for all without referrals. What is your take on this? So the question is, if I paraphrase, if you are like trying to return to the workforce after a break, Referrals is the way to go. Without referral, it is hard. So, what is your take on this?
I wouldn't. I would agree on that part that without the referral, it is really hard. But if possible, try to reach out to your network. And if nothing is working out, you can do one thing. Try to make your online presence. For an example, if you are in a testing or if you are in a development field, try to build the applications. Try to showcase your work, because when you are on a break, the person in the opposite to your side won't really have idea that what is your level of skills or what you might have understood within those break periods. So I would say try to learn new things. For an example, when I was on a break, there were testing framework that was really on a boom, that was the codeception. But when I came back, uh, I didn't hear much about it. It was a playwright. Now this automation framework is like game changer for everywhere, because it is compatible for mobile automation testing, for website automation testing. So you will have to eventually upskill yourself and make your online presence using uploading something that you have worked on. Try to showcase it wherever it is possible. GitHub is the right place where you can keep experimenting with the different things. It's never going to be wasted when you learn something new. So this is what you can do by making online presence, or as I already said, that you can start attending the events, and start building the community where they can help you out in some or the other way. But it's not really necessary that will definitely help you to land a job, but it can become a mediator.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So the best case scenario is you'll get a job, or otherwise you have an online portfolio. You have a place where you are able to showcase what you did over the break. So yeah, so that's definitely worth investing the time and effort creating an online portfolio, and you can like add it to your CV. And as Kripa says, it's not going to be it's not going to go to waste. So even after like 10 years, even if you have a job, you can always say, hey, this is the online portfolio. That time this tool was popular, or like this was the things which I tried 10 years ago. So yeah, keep adding. Even if you have a job, I would say have the online portfolio going, because that's
Yes.
your brand,
Yeah.
isn't it? Cool. We have one more question. So this question is, okay, if I have to paraphrase it, so you have already worked in a company, yeah, and then you take a career break. So you are already on a level. Maybe you are a team lead, and then you take a career break and you want to join the workforce again. You would be looking for team lead roles, but probably there is no team lead role open. So, what is your opinion on probably like taking a lower CAD role, or in from the hierarchy perspective, not a team lead, but like a team member role? What would be your opinion on that?
Okay, so first of all, I would definitely try to understand like what is the scope of learning for me in a new role that is, offering to me. So if just by having a title is not something that is, making you complete, you must understand like it, if it is your area of interest, if it is something that if there are chances of knowing something new, and learning something new, then you should definitely try it out. Because when you joined at the same title, or maybe there are the chances that there is no scope for your learning. Like if you are overqualified for that job profile, then it won't really make any sense to you. But when you have a chance, or when you have a scope of new learnings, then you should definitely try that out. So it's not really a big deal to lower your just a designation. But because designation is something that is different company to company. Some companies might give you the team leader designation at 2 or 3 years of experience, because they might have a big team. But for a different company, they might not have a big team, but they would like they could offer you a senior title. So ultimately it is going to work out the way you wanted.
Right, right. What about if it's like a lesser salary than the one which you were like getting 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Should we
so
go for
like
it?
it's depends on person to person. Like maybe you want to try it out, and like when you are coming back from a long break, you might have to compromise at certain level. Like you might be offered the same salary, or you might be offered the lower salary, but your agenda is to come back with market, and later on you can definitely switch the job. So if salary is not in a priority, and it is priority to come into the market and to learn something, then you should go for it. But again, it depends person to person and the circumstances that you are having.
Yeah, okay, I can relate to that. I think fix your priority. It's okay. Salary is a big thing because end of the day, that plays a major factor on why people work. Um, but then, yeah, it's like it's a job, not a career. So as they say, it's like a sprint. Uh,
Yeah, so
you're
actually
going for the
there are
marathon.
multiple factors that coming into the picture when you have to decide it. For an example, there is a good company who is offering you a job, but you might have to lower your scale, but you might be having a good work life balance, you might be having a good project, or your skill set is going to upgrade, something on those lines. So obviously we are working. At the end of the day, we want to have some money in our hand, but considering the situation that you are coming from a break and you are getting this good opportunity, then you should opt for it. Or otherwise you can just keep applying with other companies, and then you can try it out, like which company offering you like kind of you should have that negotiation skill for that, if you have two or three offers in that.
Okay. Right. So Ram has given me a heads up saying it's time to wrap up. So
Okay.
thank you for all the wonderful advice, Kripa. And I'm sure, so this one is like recorded session, and you would be able to see this session back, or like replay the session back on our YouTube channel. Um, and also other platforms. I think we might have a bit-sized video about it on TikTok and Instagram on
Okay.
Synapse QA's socials, but then you'd have the entire video of it recorded and uploaded onto YouTube in a couple of hours. So if anyone wants to go and listen to all the amazing tips and the advice which Kripa has shared today, please feel free and connect with us on all the social channels as well. Thank you, Kripa. I will just do the final comms bit and close the session.
Okay, thank you so
So
much for having me here.
it was nice having you as well, Kripa. Cool. So I will. Uh, no, sorry. Hold on. Let's try this again. Just like trying to share my screen so I can talk about some amazing opportunities with Synapse. Cool. Okay. So this is our community champs program, which is happening. So again, going back to the networking. Um, oh, Sarayu is saying Happy Women's Day to all the wonderful ladies out there. Yes, thank you. Same to you, Sarayu, and thanks for your questions as well. Thanks for people who have posted the questions. If you have further questions, please post it. And we also have a Synapse QA channel, and you'd be able to. Log in. I'll share the details in a minute, and yeah, let's get connected on it and have this conversation and the buzz going on the Synapse channels. So we have this community champs program. If you are interested to join Synapse, this is the way to go for. Uh, there is a link over there. You can click on the link and then you can fill in your details, and somebody from the Synapse QA team would be contacting you, and you'd have the first time opportunity to work with Synapse events, talk to industry experts specifically around testing, but also outside in terms of like software development areas as well. So don't wait. enroll. This is some of other social media handles and then our contact information. You can reach out to us. Somebody from the Synapse QA team will be able to help you out with your queries. There are lots of options to contribute and collaborate with Synapse. We are basically a blogging support platform, and we do public speaking events. There are workshops. There are loads of activities in store for 2024, just like this amazing webinar we had for the Women's Day as part of our RISE series. So connect with us and watch out for any new events you'll be having in 2024 with Synapse. So thank you for your time. Hopefully you had a wonderful time because I had a wonderful time listening to Kripa. Thanks, Ram, for handling all the background webinar stuff. Uh, and this is like me signing off for the session today. Kika out. Bye.